What's going on, family? Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Curtis Anderson and I will continue to examine 100 years of the greatest 150 black fighters of all times. And I want to continue with Emile Griffith. In our last video, we're talking about my dad and I met Emile Griffith on a train. No one recognized Emile Griffith. My dad asked him what happened in 1962. And he explained to us exactly what took place. And I was explaining to you in the last video that ex-fighters and current fighters and even champions would be called into the ring by ring announcers such as Johnny Addy and others. It was somewhat of promoting themselves. And at this time, Emile Griffith had already faced Benny Kipperett twice. Benny Kipperett just had a fight with Gene Foreman. Perrette was now the champion as a welterweight, but he took on the middleweight champion Gene Foreman, and he was badly battered. So Benny Kipperett had issues with Emile Griffith in their second fight because he would start calling him names. What had happened? A news reporter had spotted Emile Griffith coming out of a location, and word got back to members of the Boxing Commission's office. And Benny Kipperett's, one of the members of his camp, got a word as to what they saw and what happened. And from that point on, Benny Kipperett started calling Emile Griffith's names, called him a maricon. And he would take that attitude in the ring when Emile Griffith was called to come into the ring. And he went to a slot between Jimmy Braddock and Benny Kipperett. And Benny Kipperett kept on heckling Emile Griffith. As I said, he called him a maricon and many others. And Emile Griffith took offense to that. And this is what he told us directly on the train, because they were trying to get Emile Griffith to explain himself. They wanted a documentary. They were doing ringside at Gleason's gym. And they couldn't get his cooperation. And he told us what happened. And that night in 1962 was one of the most fatal and tragic incidents that can happen. But it changed a lot of rules. The New York State Athletic Commission would get involved. And that same year, 1962, they would develop red blinking lights because you had a young man by the name of Eugene Hairston. They called him Dummy Eugene Hairston. He couldn't hear and he couldn't speak and hit a man after the bell. They were going to disqualify Eugene Hairston. So Madison Square Garden would decide to come up with the red blinking lights for the last 10 seconds. Joe Louis's tax problems didn't stop, but it slowed down the process because all back taxes were no longer an issue for Joe Louis, but he would have to pay his current taxes, and that he would never do to the day he died. So that was taken care of, Joe Louis's back taxes. The NBA and the WBA would now merge. So in other words, no longer the NBA, you would now have the WBA. And many other things would occur. You would have Jake LaMotta to be called into the commission's office, and he would have to testify. All that happened in 1962. So Emile Griffith is a great candidate for this list, and Curtis Anderson and I thought he would be a proper candidate for the list. So thanks for hanging in there with me. This is Scrapbook Boxing. On behalf of my brother Curtis Anderson, 100 years of world championship fights, 150 greatest black fighters of all times will continue. See you in the next video. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Peace.